Now, knowing you, I know that you're aware of the things that people are saying. You're moving up in two-weight classes. You're the smaller man. Whatever you do, Terence Crawford, don't exchange against them. What do you feel you have to do?
Be myself. I'm 41-0 for.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career.
For more than 20 years, people thought Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 record could never be touched. He was known as a defensive genius who made even great fighters look average. But everything changed after one unforgettable night and a powerful statement from the only man to face both fighters. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just about who was the better boxer. It became a question of whether Mayweather's entire era had just been overshadowed. The debate exploded when Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez in a stunning performance that many believed was impossible.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight.
The real surprise came during the post-fight press conference. When reporters asked Canelo to compare Crawford with his former opponent, Floyd Mayweather, he didn't hold back. With the world's media waiting for his response, Canelo answered directly and without hesitation.
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Coming from the only fighter alive who had faced both men, Canelo's words carried more weight than a simple opinion. It was a bombshell that shook the boxing world. That single comment reignited a debate that had been simmering for years, and it quickly drew a powerful voice into the conversation. Watching from the sidelines, Stephen A. Smith was hooked by what he had just seen. Like many others, he expected Crawford to rely on his technical skills, keeping his distance and outboxing the bigger, stronger opponent. But what unfolded in the ring was completely different.
Well, I appreciate Crawford making my prediction come through. Coming into the fight, I had him winning by decision. I thought he was the superior boxer. I thought he would be able to take a punch. And as long as he didn't stay there and exchange with Canelo, I thought he could do it. What surprised me is that there were times during the fight, he did stand there and exchange with Canelo and took it. Took some body shots to the liver. Took some headshots, exchanged, and still ended up winning this fight. I thought from the 8th round on, he just put on a boxing clinic. But I got to give credit where credit is due. Crawford deserved to win the fight.
Smith was amazed by what he saw. Crawford didn't just hold his ground. He went toe-to-toe with Canelo, showing not only skill but incredible toughness. As Smith explained, what I didn't expect was for him to stand in there, trade punches, and survive. And he did it more than once. That's why he deserves so much credit. Breaking down the fight, Smith said he had Crawford ahead 5 rounds to 4 after 9 rounds. Then, in the final stretch, Crawford put on a masterclass, winning the last 3 rounds clearly. He absorbed Canelo's power, fought back, and excelled in situations where most smaller fighters would have folded.
Crawford is a special fighter because he's got a mean streak. He doesn't back up from anything. He's usually the superior boxer in the ring. He finds a way to win. No matter who he's going up against, no matter what power you have, what boxing skills you have, he is truly a generational fighter. He wants to go in the ring and not just beat you, but show you he was a better man. And he's now going to believe that just a knockout does that. He likes outboxing you and showing you that his skill level is superior to yours. And he showed it tonight.
Stephen A. called it a true masterclass. But even with all his praise, he wasn't ready to crown Crawford as the greatest. In his view, there was still another kind of master to remember, a ghost-like figure in the ring who Crawford, despite his heart and skill, had not yet replaced: Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, "I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me."
This was the moment Stephen A. Smith drew the line, making a key distinction that shifted the entire debate. He reminded everyone that Floyd Mayweather was a defensive genius, a fighter whose entire strategy was built around winning without taking punishment. With brittle hands that plagued him through much of the second half of his career, Floyd couldn't count on knockout power. And this wasn't speculation. It was a well-documented fact.
Floyd Mayweather looks me in my face and he says, "I'm going to take him out about the 8th or 9th round." And I said, "Your hands are always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're going to do this?" He said, "Stephen A., he's a UFC fighter." He said, "And he's a striker. He's accustomed to coming at you and throwing punches. What he's not accustomed to doing is punching while he's throwing backwards, while he's moving backwards and pushing you off of him." He says, "I'm going to walk right into him and stay in his chest. He's going to have to push me off in order to throw his punches." He said he's going to be circling the ring. He said by around 4 or 5, he's not going to have any legs. He's going to be done. And he said, and I'll just toy with him and keep him around until around the 8th or the 9th round. And that is exactly what Floyd Money Mayweather did. He told me exactly what he was going to do, and he did it.
He's the man.
Mayweather himself admitted that his hands were extremely fragile. He even revealed that before the Conor McGregor fight, his injuries were so bad he couldn't spar for an entire month.
You hurt your hand? Huh? I thought you hurt your hand. That's myself. Okay. All right. Relax, baby. The job is done. All right.
Put in a bucket of ice, man. Yeah. I'll get a bucket of ice. Kill him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot. Okay. Actually, 2 shots. Oh, okay. But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like,
you said something to him when you grabbed him.
I said, "You got to kill me."
Oh, shit. I wasn't ready, bro.
I said, that was a good one. I said, that was a good one, but you got to kill me. Wow. I said, "You got to kill me." And did I mean, I'm not going to lie. I meant it.
Adding to the controversy, reports have suggested that during the second half of his career, Mayweather chose to fight almost exclusively in Las Vegas, one of the few places that allowed fighters to use numbing injections like xylocaine for hand pain. This pointed to his hand problems being a major factor in where and how he fought. Even so, inside the ring, he made himself untouchable.
Rocky Marciano was 49-0. Before Floyd got to 50-0, he was a heavyweight champ. Did anyone ever consider Rocky Marciano the GOAT? No, not seriously, no. Why would Floyd be considered the GOAT? Because he beat more fighters than Rocky did, more great ones? That's true. But really, Floyd was careful in the way he selected opponents. Don't get that twist. It's not that Floyd didn't fight a lot of great fighters. He did. It's not that I don't think he would have beaten a lot of the tougher fighters than he fought. I think he probably would have, but he didn't do it. He waited. He waited till Pacquiao wasn't at his best anymore. He didn't fight Margarito when Margarito was tearing everyone up. He waited for the right time to fight people. He got paid twice as much for fighting Pacquiao in a less dangerous fight than he would have had he fought him when everyone wanted to see a fight. Floyd is among the all-time greats, but he ain't number one.
Trainer Greg Hackett backed up this view, saying the version of Floyd who fought Canelo was the complete package, disciplined, polished, and unshakable. He contrasted that with Crawford's style, which he described as being closer to Deontay Wilder's approach.
I can't say he's capping. I can't, because I don't know what he felt. But when I heard that, what I think is when Floyd beat me, I was 23. I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying.
I don't know. That's what it gives it that air.
I also think you got to remember when you talking about a Mexican fighter, they big on punishment. He might also feel Crawford punches harder than Floyd and took more chances than Floyd took. Floyd really was super speed that night. Everything speed. And it irritated Canelo because Canelo couldn't do what he wanted to do. And he looked nothing like himself. Like I said, I think it was just times where Canelo felt like, damn, I could have had him. With Floyd, I think he felt like paralyzed. Like, damn, I can't catch this motherfucker. He's too fast. But with Crawford, I felt like he maybe was saying, damn, I could have, if I would have threw this or if I would have did that. You know what I mean? Because it was times Crawford sat there and caught a punch and countered back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He let Canelo throw. Like, go ahead, throw your shit. He caught that shit, boom, and come right back with the hook. Same shot he caught Earl with. He was touching Canelo with some of that same shit, man. And it was just like, and it was times where Crawford was imposing himself on Canelo. He was stepping to Canelo at times. He didn't do it the whole fight, but I'm just saying it was times he stepped to him. Floyd did too, but Floyd just was so fast, so much faster. And the education was like totally different. Like when Canelo fought Floyd, Canelo was in middle school. He wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? Floyd by that time was already a Harvard graduate. You know what I'm saying?